Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It is time to go through the SMS Baden Devblog and see if we can find some cool information. I was drinking last night, so I am very late on today and I feel like crap, so I apologize if everything's a bit odd. Anyway, we also have an event which is going on this weekend. Happy St. Patrick's Day, of course. The Green Giant is back, the good old Irish event with the St. Patrick's Day decal in tow. There's a leprechaun hat decal coming in from the March 15th to the 18th. All you got to do is play 3 battles with anything when it comes to the game, rank 3 or above, and you can get yourself the leprechaun hat and wander around in it. Pretty cool, so make sure to get it done and get it sorted. The SMS Baden is a rank 6 battleship coming to Germany, which is incredibly similar to some other ships we already have, but of course this one is an event vehicle. Let's get into the history of this vehicle. The SMS Baden became the second and last ship built in a series of the most powerful battleships in the history of the Imperial German Navy. The ship was launched at the end of October 1915 and entered service a year later, in October 1916. Becoming the flagship of the High Seas Fleet, Baden was transferred to Kiel to prevent the Allied forces from breaking through into the Baltic Sea. In 1918, part of the crew of the Baden joined the Kiel anti-war uprising. In 1919, along with other ships of the High Seas Fleet, she was transferred to the Scapa Flow for internment, where commanders of the fleet received orders to scuttle ships in this area. Despite this, Baden's crew failed to cause enough critical damage, causing her to be captured by the British. In August 1921, Baden was destroyed as a target ship by gunnery practice from the Royal Navy. The more and more I think about the Baden, the more I wonder why it was picked as an event ship, because it's exactly the same, if not basically the same, as the Bayern class that we already have in the game. Obviously now this is the third Bayern class, one of them wasn't even fully built, and now instead we have pretty much everything that can be of this class. Is it added because people aren't grinding through the German tech tree, but they want people to get access to a vehicle that is pretty familiar at the higher echelons? Is it added because they have some plans of something to add to the German tech tree later, meaning that demand of something like this will increase? Or is it just because it was easier to do, since it is so similar to another machine that's been around? They've added quite a few of these types of battleships over the years when it comes to War Thunder as these kind of like event vehicles, same with like cruisers and stuff like that, and I still hold to the idea that I would much prefer to have these mid-tier premiums instead of these high-tier bangers, because obviously with the high-tier stuff, it just ends up being a problem, because if you haven't ground out the stuff, then you only have one ship in the lineup, and also it's a lot harder to research compared to many other things, and you don't get the research bonuses since it's not a premium vehicle. So I'm really kind of racking my brain when it comes to this one. The Jaguar IS, for example, is a vehicle which was kind of needed for Britain because it was struggling for some options when it came to CAS, and also at the same time, their Jaguars were very lacking compared to the French. The Object 292 is obviously quite unique with its large gun, and also access to the T-80 chassis, so marrying two pretty interesting ideas, where the Baden is just basically a copy and paste. You know, it has the 8 380mm guns, it has the 16 150mm guns too, and also 4 88mm cannons, the 350mm belts. Like, nothing about it is new, interesting, or anything. The only thing might be because it has more torpedoes, so it has 12 torpedoes instead of 5. That's it. That's the only thing. So, from a point of view of grinding out this event, the idea of grinding out this event, I mean, you can do it. You can get it done. You can get it sorted. I will do it because I don't have that area of Germany ground out, so it'd be nice to get access to it and also see how it goes. But at the end of the day, what is the hook for a vehicle like this? Is it its historical prowess? It could be. It could be that fact. But I still think that it would be much better that, if War Thunder in general for naval events did more mid-tier premiums, like light cruisers, destroyers, even if they're just prototype or planned stuff, because they already have a bunch of projects in the game for naval and even label them as so. So why not just chuck those in so people can at least grind through the tech trees instead of just get this one vehicle to be able to play and really do not too much with. The major factors of this one you can already find in the game on the Bayern. It has access to a pretty nice APHE shell, which has a lot of explosive filler in it, meaning if you penetrate targets, you do a lot of damage. That is really nice. It doesn't have very fast turrets, it isn't very fast overall, and doesn't have the greatest fire rate, but it will be able to hold its own at the BR that it's at, but it still won't be, the best ship in the game. In my opinion, when it comes to stuff like this, I really think that it will be time just to shift focus when it comes to these types of vehicles for naval. It was nice getting that French destroyer in the Battle Pass, and generally the Battle Pass seems to be for the premiums nowadays, where these events are just going to be for like the big bangers. But the problem is with the way that they've changed the event system, if you end up with 3 or 4 of these big bangers in a year for each of the nations, people just have to wait for their nation to be there, and then they can just get it. And it means that none of the other ones are that interesting. And if each one is just a copy-paste of a vehicle that's already in the game, why would you ever bother? Why would you ever do anything with it? And that is, kind of the real question. I'm hoping, going forward, that we can see something that is a little bit different. A little bit unique, whether it be just like a missile destroyer, whether it be something which is just, slightly different from the norm, just something a bit more spicy than what we've already seen. And that is going to be hard, because it seems like in naval that's just not the case. That's not what we get in naval anymore, and that kind of sucks. But hopefully, going forward, we can see something like that. As always, look after yourselves. Have a good time. Bye-bye. I'd like to thank Schnitzel Stroker, Brendan Quinn, Vilneus, Character Fuel, Carrion Crow, Nicholas Richardson, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, B. Young, Opium Prime, Masonocrat, Lafouche, Alan Hacker, Sem Arslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.